every gaming universe, there's always that one character that seems to stand out from the rest. But not many of them are the most powerful in their universe just by their strength, sometimes with their mind instead. Mewtwo, the ultimate genetic Pokemon. And Silver, the time-traveling psychic Hedgehog. My name is Clay, and it's my job to see who would win in a brawl. It's time for Mewtwo, one of the most powerful Pokemon of all time, for a duel on Animation Brawl. It was created by Professor Fuji to be this powerhouse, and it was a success. It learned a lot, and it had a ton of emotion. But when the daughter of the creator died, they decided to erase Mewtwo's memory, making it hard to explain why there's a lot of this confusion in its head. At first glance, Mewtwo is just a stubborn, evil Pokemon. But when it saw the care of humans to Pokemon, Mewtwo wasn't so bad after all. The plot is a little bit confusing, so let's move on to its skill. Because Mewtwo is one powerful psychic Pokemon, Mewtwo can use his mind to manipulate and send enemies flying. Even heavy ones like Onix can be lifted easily. So basically, it's using psychic. Oh, and it can also erase some memories of others. Recover is good for people who just can't get the kill. And this Pokemon can also use other devastating moves, such as Psy-Strike and Psycho Cut. And sometimes the best way to build up its power is just standing still. Literally, motionless. What's that? You want more? Okay. Mewtwo is actually one of the few Pokemon who doesn't even need outside help in order to Mega Evolve. So we're gonna go with Mega Mewtwo Y. Although it's much smaller, it just proves that size doesn't matter. All stats are increased by an extreme potential, and its psychic ability is much stronger. Also, it can carry Genesect into space, proving to be extremely fast. However, even without its Mega form, it can survive being double impaled. It defeated most legendary Pokemon without effort, and it can create a Hurricane. And it can move at hypersonic speeds. Plus, it's smart enough to clone several Pokemon. However, while it does seem OP, Mewtwo can still be defeated. And, since it's Psychic type, it's naturally weak to Bug, Ghost, and Dark types. But if you encounter this wild Pokemon, you're asking for the fight of your life. Oh, yeah, it's Silver, the one type of money we need, and it has the periodic symbol of A. Hey, wait a minute, who changed my script? Anyway, Silver is a very unique hedgehog from the rest. He came from 200 years from the future, and his goal was to protect his time in the future. So, he had to kill the Iblis Trigger, which he believed was Sonic the Hedgehog. But later, he learned that it really wasn't him, and he was kind of framed by Mythiles. And then soon that he became friends, and they were on the same side, and blah blah blah, yay. Time traveling can be kind of confusing. I mean, this wasn't that confusing, but it can be. Unlike most Sonic characters, Silver actually doesn't fight physically. He actually has a special power known as psychokinesis, which he can manipulate and move objects with the power of his mind, which actually gives an advantage because he can use his surroundings all around him. And he also can fly, which when he flies, he can reach Mach speeds. He also has enhanced durability and high jumps. And just like the rest of the Sonic characters, well, most of them at least, he can harness the power of Chaos, which, if he needs that little boost, he can turn to Super Silver. When he's in this form, he doesn't even need to use Psychokinesis on himself in order to fly. And yes, before he didn't have to do that, he has an about 1000% of a power increase, and he's also, well, completely invulnerable, and he can move faster than the speed of light. That is just so fast. It would be cool if we could go that fast. It really would. The only problem with this form is that it only has a limited amount of time. It can only last for about a minute, probably less. But still, he'll probably have to use it really effectively if he wants to win this battle. Silver's done some impressive things. He defeated Enerjack, who actually defeated Supersonic and most of the Freedom Fighters as well. He can fight Sonic and Shadow to a standstill. He can move 50 tons, travel back 200 years, and he has defeated plenty of enemies. However, most of these feats required help from Sonic and Shadow. He's also pretty naive and experienced. But whatever way you might put it, Silver is no doubt one of the most powerful Sonic characters out there, and will ever be. Finally, after recording so many times, because it's so hard to get the right volume, sometimes I feel like I'm always really loud from the music out there. It's finally time for Animation Brawl. This has been uploaded by LK64. I've used another one of his fights before, and he actually animated the first fight of Battle Royale for the crossover series. So make sure to subscribe to him and subscribe to that person with the new series. And now it's finally time for Animation Brawl.
Prepare to battle.
Take this! How's this?
Aww, why'd you do that, Silver? You took the coward way and killed cute little Mewtwo. Aww. Why, Silver? Why? Well, okay, anyway, let's just talk about this fight. This was a really close fall. In fact, no one had any big advantages over each other. Mewtwo was physically stronger than Silver, but Silver was faster and slightly more durable. Even when they were attacking, it's not like they could really harm them, because they could both just return each other's attacks. But when they got into their more powerful forms, then it was more clear. While Mewtwo's Mega Form grants several increases in stats, it still could be capable of getting exploited and losing. While Super Silver has a much faster speed and 1,000 power increase, Mega Mewtwo Y could still get hurt and take damage, while Super Silver was completely invulnerable. So basically, Super Silver completely outclasses Mega Mewtwo Y in about every way. I mean, you could argue that Mewtwo could just erase his mind, but even if that did happen, Silver could still probably come back around the end, because eventually he'd be able to remember what he was really doing, and it's not like the mind erase is the best thing. While Silver, on the other hand, he could just go back in time, just stop the younger Mewtwo, and then it would be a win for him. So, yeah, this was a really close call, but in the end, it just had to go to Silver. Its powers were just too much for the Pokemon to handle. This was a mind-blowing battle. The winner goes to Silver. Next time on Animation Brawl.